It is possible to have justice. In one sense, I think mercy is in fact the idea that we needn't receive the forgiveness. I think that it may be in our power to take or to destroy or for things to become equal, though it is never totally a human possibility. I think that we can balance the scales. And in fact, mercy comes when we realize that we have to let go. I mean, that's the whole end of The Merchant of Venice, is, this idea that, yes, you can have your pound of flesh. You could, in fact, have your pound of flesh, but you will not get it. And you know what will happen is be merciful first. No, he says, I demand justice. Very well, then we will give you justice, and that justice destroys a man. It destroys Shylock's life. But he insisted on his pound of flesh when he could have been merciful instead. Though, I wonder too, this is a 19th century novel, and it adheres to codes of honor that are very different also from how we live today. And codes of justice that I often thought of as absolute. And I wonder, I was curious too if this is like a cultural thing, talking about French. I find the translation of a book from Spanish to English sometimes is lacking in certain qualities that are inherent to my culture that cannot be translated with the language. I'm curious if there's a similar quality to the book, I'm sure there is in the French. Yeah.
The French version, to me, this seems, when I read it in English, seems just a little off in a way, and I know it's a great translation, but there are certain romantic traditions and literary conventions and cultural things that are very difficult to translate. I think that happens with any language.
Yes. One of the things that always struck me, I mentioned Blood Wedding earlier, like one of the things that I've never seen a good production of Blood Wedding in English. And are you guys people familiar with Lorca's Blood Wedding? For those who aren't, Blood Wedding is a play by the Spanish playwright Federico García Lorca, Bodas de Sangre. It was written in the 1930s, before the war, the Civil War. And the gist of it is essentially it's about two gypsy tribes who come together in marriage. And the bride ends up running away with a man she used to live with, or love, sorry. And the groom is forced